Hi guys, it's me again. I'm going to try and get my pregnancy vlog done. This is probably going to take a few vlogs and it might not all get done tonight. So I'm going to post this one tonight, but it might be tomorrow, it might be a couple days from now until you get part 2. It's just easier for me to get these done when my husband is home. Okay, so trying to conceive vlog, I left off with letting you guys know how we found out we were pregnant. Great day that was. Again, I have notes down here, sorry. Trying to fit 9 months into a couple different vlogs, so I definitely need them. So, that night, went home, like I said, just trying to focus on feeling pregnant and being happy. Unfortunately, like the very next morning when I woke up, I had a pretty bad head cold. And that was kind of a bummer because I just wanted to be feeling good and happy and start planning and all that fun stuff. However, I didn't feel good, and for the next like 3 days it just got worse and worse. I felt horrible. I ended up going to the doctor's office and they just told me to basically suffer through it. It wasn't an infection, so I just had to deal with it. You can't really take any medicine other than Tylenol. I didn't want to take that either. Paranoid mommy already. So that lasted like a full week, and then the morning that I woke up without a cold, I woke up with really bad nausea. I kind of knew that nausea was going to be a part of my pregnancy, at least I assumed it would be, because my mom, with all 3 of us kids, had hyperemesis gravidarum, and that's just like a really severe form of morning sickness where you're sick pretty much all day long for like the first trimester, sometimes even longer. Weak, can't eat anything, dehydration, the works. Kind of figured I'd at least have some of that. So I did, and it gradually got worse every day. Went from throwing up just in the morning to throwing up morning, afternoon, and evening, then every hour, you know, sometimes keeping food down, sometimes not keeping food down, sometimes keeping fluid down, sometimes not. Really difficult to brush my teeth, excuse me, without getting sick or gagging. So that wasn't very much fun at all. It was just kind of like having like food poisoning, but every day, all day long. Nothing made me feel better. I was really weak and really tired. About 5 weeks along in my pregnancy, I started getting some cramping in my lower right side, and I was worried that it was, I'm going to say this wrong, ectopic pregnancy. I just had done a whole lot of reading during our trying to conceive month, so I thought that might be the problem. So I called my obstetrician and they told me to get blood work done and also go to this other place and get an ultrasound. So I went in to both places, got my blood work done, and went to the ultrasound, and baby, it wasn't an ectopic pregnancy. Baby was fine. They couldn't see any heartbeat or anything at that point because it was too early on, but didn't seem to be a problem, so that was great news. However, my blood work came back and my progesterone levels were a little bit low, and they said that might be the culprit for the sharp pains I was having. So they did supplement me with a supplement. It was a pill I had to insert vaginally every evening, and the only side effect that gave me was just excessive fatigue, even more so than you have in the first trimester of pregnancy. I catch myself just laying down on the couch and just passing out for like 2 hours. Okay, anyhow, let's see, next thing on the list. Okay, over the next 3 weeks after that, between 5 and 8 weeks, my nausea got even worse. I was throwing up like every 10 minutes, was hardly keeping anything down, could hardly lift my head off the pillow, and I was just in bad shape. Couldn't go anywhere without bringing like a bucket or something with me. So on April 23rd, it was my very first OB appointment. I had talked to them on the phone numerous times, but it was my first appointment, and I cried the whole way there because I was so nervous about what I was going to do since I threw up so often. I didn't want to throw up in the lobby in front of people, and I didn't feel good, so I was crying for that reason too. before the nurse even came back to get me, I had to go back to the restroom and get sick, and when I came out of there, she had this really sad look on her face, and obviously my husband had told her what was wrong with me, and they weighed me, and I was 10 pounds less than my pre-pregnancy weight. And I'm going to share my weight with you because it's just a crazy fluctuation I've had through this whole thing. So, before I got pregnant, I was, with clothes on, 180 pounds. And you're probably thinking, that's kind of heavy. You don't really look like you're 180 pounds. First off, I'm not anymore. And secondly, I'm also 5 feet 10 inches tall. So I carried it pretty well. And it was definitely on the higher end of where my weight should be, but not really overweight. Anyways, I don't even know why I'm rambling about that. Anyway, point is, I had lost 10 pounds in those first 8 weeks of pregnancy from being so sick. The doctor did an ultrasound, and we got to see the heartbeat, and she said that she couldn't have shown us a better picture of health for an 8-week-old fetus. And that was great news because I hadn't been getting any nourishment to my body, and I was starting to worry about the baby. But I do know that what you eat or don't eat really doesn't affect the baby too much in the first trimester. They're getting kind of everything they need just from, I don't know, your body itself, I guess. I don't know. Where are we now? Oh, there's my alarm. I'm going to have to cut this video off in a minute because I'm going to go over on time. Real quickly, they just prescribed me a med called Zofran. It's for patients that are pregnant and nauseous, but also it's for chemotherapy patients to help their nausea, so it's really strong. Went directly to the pharmacy, got sick on the way there, took one of the pills, it dissolves in your mouth, and within 20 minutes I felt like a new person. I felt fine. For an entire week I was nausea-free and on top of the world, and I thought the rest of this pregnancy was going to be great. So I'm going to cut the story off there, and I will continue on my next one. Bye.